Oh wait, let's back up for anyone discovering us for the first time. We bought this old house in country Australia a couple years ago, and the backyard was a total wreck. There was an old brick patio that needed to be redone, a huge 6-headed stump, an old barbecue sinking into the ground, and heaps of overgrowth, but a nice amount of space on our quarter-acre lot. With plans in the council, that I'll get into in a bit, we started in the backyard digging out the back of the shed and also putting in some garden edging to soften the fence line, plant some decent sized shrubs and trees, and define the lawn space. This in itself made a big improvement cleaning up the yard. The grand plan was a multi-level deck and pergola. Yes, it's pronounced pergola here in Oz, not pergola. Due to how the back of the house was going into a slope, the property was just begging for similar hardscaping treatment to define some zones and just ease overall maintenance. Still waiting for council, we got to planting 8 silky oaks in a naturally raised bed. They do well in Australia depending on your soil and drainage. These trees are accustomed to growing off the sides of cliffs in Germany, so having good drainage really does help. After moving the driveway to the other side of the house, which you can catch up on in previous videos mentioned below, we turned the old drive into a veggie and herb garden with lemon and lime trees. The pergola was next, which went up quickly. This was done by All Sheds, a stellar local group, and for a fraction of the cost of a ColorBond designer pergola. Discovering the back of the shed had asbestos, we opted to put in a separate garden shed, the plan before being a rear entrance to the main shed for garden supplies. This is working out nicely, as you'll see in future videos, as I have more space for my workshop in the shed. After running a conduit for power to the shed and putting in stormwater drains, we got to clean in the 2,800 bricks from the property to recycle them into a new freshly laid mammoth patio. You can check out that fun task in my last video where I may have broken out into song and appear shirtless in bed for a moment.
When I wake up.
Who am I? After laying the front path ourselves, which went smoothly, we opted to hire out this task to ensure all the levels and any required drainage were really done properly. This was going to be a big task and we didn't want to mess it up. Which led us to having a bobcat appear in our backyard. The first task being to remove all the loose topsoil and get down to the clay so they could lay the road-based gravel mixture. Even with the bobcat, the remains of the enormous stump were a bitch to remove.
Oh yeah.
All the clearing and patio works were done by Michelle's Landscaping and Garden Design based in Shepparton. It was a bit of a wait to get scheduled, but it was well worth the wait, as you'll see. After the area is all cleared, next up was getting the steps in, as these were going to set the level for both the top patio as well as the bottom patio coming out of the house. Since the beginning, I saw 2 sets of quite wide steps both in front of the shed and also the French doors going out of the house. Doing some bluestone to the tops was a no-brainer, both aesthetically and also just to help them be more easily seen upon approach. It was a bit sad to see that they had to rip up some of the stormwater drains that we put down, but this was because with the levels and getting those right, we needed to have one step down as you approached kind of where the laundry and the other back door is. So we basically had, or they basically had to move that plumbing elsewhere and make sure it was covered appropriately. Then just getting the base in, then sand, then the bricks laid. Also, I got a new mic. I had been using just the inbuilt mic on the camera, which is a Sony ZV-E10, which seemed to be alright, until I started doing some research. And I stumbled on the Deity V-Mic D4 shotgun mic, which is the one I wound up getting. Great sound for only 144 Aussie dollars. So here's a clip of the Deity. Oh wait, let's back up for anyone discovering us for the first time. And here's a clip with the inbuilt mic on the ZV-E10. Hang on a second, let's just back up for anyone discovering us for the first time. And this one was taken with my iPhone voice recorder, which was a big mistake. The master plan was to build a multi-level deck with areas for living and dining. Notice the difference? I love how the new mic sounds. to the side yard, finally getting that gravelled really finished off that space and connected it visually to the front and backyards. Not stopping there, of course, we'd been using Corten steel for the front yard garden beds and used it in the little path by the trees here, so we wanted to swap out the timber with some Corten, which was a nice improvement. The patio served as the home base as we might thought. Sierra loves the brick. We promptly got the Barbie fired up and have been enjoying it with mates and family. As the weather cooled off, we also bit on a solo stove where we can put either closer to the backyard or in between the back patio and the back of the house, and it's not undercover. I wouldn't say they're 100% smokeless, but they are much less smoky than a campfire. Ours is getting a really nice patina on it already. And that's it for this catch up. Be sure to tune in to the next one on this playlist, where I'll finally be breaking into the shed. It's going to be epic.